What's up guys, and welcome back to Software and Hardware Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Yes, a lot of people are playing this game right now, but a lot of people are getting FPS loss, frame drops, input lag, game stutter, lag in general. Just the gameplay experience is really bad. Now today I'm going to show you what you can do to get more FPS out of this game and make your game run smooth, perfectly fine, and do more than 60 FPS. Alright, so this is for all users out there. It doesn't matter if you're a laptop user, desktop user, gaming laptop user, gaming desktop user, AMD, NVIDIA, Intel HD graphics. As long as you're busy playing this game, I'm going to show you what you can do to get more FPS out of this game. Alright, so the first thing I'm just going to jump over to is this. Thanks to everyone out there that subscribes to my YouTube channel, that's watching my videos, and that's giving me feedback and letting me know that everything is working perfectly fine, and then I'm helping them out. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is obviously open up Battle.net, go over here where it says Options, and go to Show in Explorer. Open up Cold War, and go over here where it's the exe file, right click on it, and go to Properties. Go to Compatibility Mode, and then go here where it says Change Settings for all users, click on this, and say Disable Full Screen Optimization, and run this program as administrator, and say Apply, and go here where it says Change High DPI Settings, click on this, and tick on this box, tick here, open this up, and make it say I open this program, click on High DPI Scaling Override, click on this box and say Application. Do not say System, do not System Enhance. This will not help. Put it on Application, say OK, say Apply, say OK, say OK, and go out of this. Once you're done with that, you're going to minimize out of this and go to your desktop. The first thing you're going to need to do is go to the search button over here and type in Settings. Just like that, and press Enter. Go to Update and Security and make sure that your Windows is up to date. It's very crucial for your system to be up to date on a regular basis. Trust me, you need to do this. Don't worry, I'm also a forgetful user. I also forget about this a lot. But try to remind yourself to keep your Windows up to date. As you can see, there's a new update. It's busy installing now. Keep your Windows up to date because this is a crucial part of your machine. You need to keep your machine up to date. So there we go, 1021, 1021. All right, so my Windows is up to date. Next step you're going to need to do is update your graphics card drivers. Now, there's a long way of doing this by going to Google and type in AMD, NVIDIA, or Intel HD graphics drivers, download, and then you go and download them. Now there's an easier way of doing this. Just go to the search button over here and type in Device Manager, just like this, and click on Device Manager. When Device Manager opens up, you go to Display Adapters and click on the graphics card that you're currently running. Right click on it and say Update Drivers and say Search automatically for drivers. Now as you can see, my latest drivers are already installed. Now if your latest drivers isn't installed already, it will start downloading and it will start installing your latest graphics card drivers. This is the easier way of doing this. This is why I wanted to show you this. It's an easier way of keeping your graphics card up to date. Alright, so the next thing you're going to need to do is go to the search button over here and type in Graphics Settings, just like this, and go to Graphics Settings. Once you're over here, if you do have this option, I highly recommend switching this on. If you do not see this option, don't worry, I got you covered because a lot of people might not have this. Alright, so you go to Browse over here and you're going to find where your Cold War is installed. So my Cold War is over here. You go to your Cold War and you go to Cold War over here, which is the application, the exe file, and you say Add. And you go over here and you go to Options and you say High Performance. So it chooses your graphics card and it uses all the resources out of your graphics card to let your game run perfectly fine. And you say Save and you close out of this. Right, you close out of this, go to the search button over here, and what you're going to need to do next is type in Edit Power Plan, just like that, and then go to Edit Power Plan. Once you're over here, you go to Power Options and go to Create a Power Plan. Once you're over here, you go to High Performance, delete everything inside here and just type in Cold War, just like that, and say Next. Make sure to say Never, and say Create. Now you have a power option for Cold War, and you go to Change Plan Settings. Once you're over here, you go to Change Advanced Power Settings, click on here, and go to Hard Disk. Now you can see this is an active one for Cold War. Now you have an active power option for Cold War. You go to Hard Disk. Over here where it says turn off hard disk after, yours might say 10 minutes like this, or 20 minutes like this. That means your hard drive is going to switch off after 10 or 20 minutes, and you do not want that, especially if you're running this game on a mechanical hard drive, which is a hard drive with a disk inside of it. Now, if you are an SSD user, do this as well. I'm personally an SSD user. All you need to do is just type in 0 and say Apply. Click anywhere. Now your hard drive will switch off. Never. It will never switch off. Okay. Very important step. This over here where it says Processor Power Management. You're going to get two options here as a laptop user. It's going to say plugged in and on battery. Change them both to 100%. just click here. Desktop users, you're only going to get one option. Just go into this box and type in 100% and say apply. Scroll all the way down and go to maximum processor state. Make sure it says 100%. Once you're done with that, you just say okay and you close out of this. Alright, once you close out of that, the first thing you're going to need to do, if you are a NVIDIA user like me, you just right click on your desktop and go to NVIDIA control panel. If you do not see this, just go to the search button over here and type in NVIDIA control panel, or it will be on your desktop, or it will be in your start over here, wherever it might be. Just search for it and you'll find it. Normally it will just be right click on your desktop and go to NVIDIA control panel. Open up NVIDIA control panel. Once NVIDIA control panel opens, you are going to go to adjust image settings with preview, and where it says use the advanced 3D image settings, you are going to click on use my preference and put this between balanced or performance. If you have a really good computer, you can put this on quality. If you have a mid-tier gaming PC, put this on balanced. If you have a low-tier gaming PC, put this on performance and say apply. Once you're done with that, you're going to go to this option over here and you're going to select your graphics card in this here. Alright, so you're going to select your graphics card and say apply. Make sure you select your graphics card. Do not say CPU. Select your graphics card and say apply. Once you're done with that, you go to manage 3D settings. You go over here and you go to program settings. Now, this might take a little while because I have a lot of games on my computer. This is a crucial step for NVIDIA users and it helps a lot with FPS Boost, especially in Cold War and in every other single game. All you're going to need to do is go to add. There's Cold War. If you do not find it in this drop down arrow over here, when you click here and it shows you the drop down arrow, all you're going to need to do is go add and go and add it. Go to browse if you don't find it and go and find where your game is installed. For instance, if I go to Cold War over here, I go here and I click on this one over here, which is the biggest one, which is the exe file, and then just say add selected program. Now what you're going to need to do where it says image sharpening, you're going to turn this off and you're going to say okay. Over here, I'm just going to show you something. This one plays a really big role. What you're going to need to do, don't change this to use global settings. Say use these GPUs and select your graphics card that you're running. Say okay. Once that is done, I highly recommend changing this for a lot of people out there. This one where it says quality, if you've got a really good computer, keep this on quality. If you have a beast of a machine, put it on high quality. If you have a low tier gaming PC or a mid tier gaming PC, put this on performance. If you have a low end gaming PC or low end gaming laptop, put this on high performance. Once you're done with that, you go to virtual sync and you turn this off and you say apply. Once you're done with that and it has applied, I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do inside the game to get more FPS out of your game. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, this actually does work. And I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do. And let's jump straight into that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in Call of Duty Cold War. Now, what I'm going to show you is very, very important to do inside the game's settings to get more FPS out of your game. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is where it says display mode. I highly recommend keeping this at full screen. Do not change this. Do not put it on any other thing. Keep it on full screen. Now, obviously, if you have multiple monitors, you choose your main display. Okay, because I have 3 displays, so I'm not going to change it at all. I'm just going to keep it at my main display. This one over here, you are going to change this to the refresh rate of your monitor. So if you have a 60 Hz monitor, you keep it at 60 Hz. If you have a 120, 144 or 240 Hz monitor, whatever the case might be of what refresh rate monitor you have, change it to the refresh rate of your monitor or your display on your laptop. This one over here, you are going to disable this, disable it, this, disable it, and this plays a very, very big role inside this game. Now, if you are doing, let's say 720p or 1080p as a display or a monitor, I highly recommend keeping this on 100, okay? Or you can play around with this if you are still getting FPS loss. What you can do is put this on between 95 or 90 and say apply. If you're still getting low FPS in this game, because you may be rocking a very low-end gaming laptop or low-end gaming PC, then I highly recommend changing this all the way to 85 and you'll get more FPS out of your game. Trust me, it does work. Trust me, try it out and just see for yourself. You will get more FPS out of your game. Okay, put this on your resolution, the highest resolution that your monitor or your display can go to. This you keep at automatic. This one over here is your own personal preference. Your field of view, I keep mine full at 120, so it actually looks like this, not like that, not like that, or like that. So you can actually see more around you on your left and right, especially if you're in a gunfight, or if you're running around, you want to see more on the left and the right hand side of your screen. Okay, this one over here, you're going to put on independent. This one you're going to put on independent. Do not put it on affected. Do not do that. Just keep it like this, both of them. Okay, brightness overall, you can do the tweaks in the brightness just when you launch the game, but I'm just going to show you what you can do. This is when you launch the game. This is what happens. It shows you this once you open up Cold War for the first time. I highly recommend putting this on 60 because then you can see people that's hiding in dark corners, because this maps have very dark places in it, so you can see enemies that's hiding in very dark corners. So I highly recommend putting this at either 60 or putting this at 65, just like that, and say confirm. Once you're done with that, what you're going to need to do is over here, you're going to put this on unlimited. This over here, you are going to push up all the way to this to 335, and this one on 335. This one over here, texture quality, keep this at high. If you've got a monster computer, you can put this on ultra. It will start eating more VRAM. But if you have, like, I don't know, maybe 8 gigs or 12 gigs or 24 gig graphics card, you can put this on ultra. It's your own personal preference. But for people out there that's rocking mid-tier to low-tier gaming PCs, I highly recommend either putting this on high or on medium. Okay, and it will start eating less VRAM on your graphics card. So I'm just going to put mine back on high because it runs perfectly fine on my graphics card. Model quality, this plays a big role as well. So all you need to do is you can change this down, less VRAM on your graphics card, and this will eat more VRAM on your graphics card. But you can keep this on high or you can keep this on medium. If you're still getting FPS loss, then obviously just change this to low. Okay, once you're done with that, I'm just going to put mine back. This one over here, you put on medium. This one, disable. This one, low. This one on disable. Go all the way down. Where shadow and lighting is concerned, I highly recommend disabling these things because you don't really need it in this game, because it is a multiplayer game, and obviously have better input in your game, better responsiveness on your keyboard and mouse. So put this on low, disable this, and disable this as well. This you disable this. You do not want ray tracing on this game unless you are rocking a really good computer. You can enable all of these, and as you can see, it starts eating much more VRAM on my graphics card. Not that much, but I highly recommend, because it's a multiplayer game, disable this. You do not need it, but it's your own personal preference. Like I said, it's your own personal preference. If you know you can do ray tracing, put it on whatever you like. And if it works for you, it works for you. But for people out there that's rocking mid-tier to low-tier gaming laptops and PCs, disable this, okay? This one here, what you're going to need to do is, if you've got a 30 series graphics card, you can play around with this. If you've got a 30 series graphics card, but I highly recommend putting this on disable. This one over here, you can put on either on high or on ultra. If you're getting anything lower than what you should be doing on your FPS and you're dropping FPS by a lot, I highly recommend either putting this on low or putting this on lowest. Okay, so I'm just going to put this back on high and keep it on high because with my graphics card it runs it perfectly fine. Ambient occlusion quality, you keep this at low. If you've got a good computer, you can put this on high or on ultra. It's your own personal preference, but I highly recommend putting this on low. Disable this. This you're going to definitely put on low. This one here you disable, this one you put on disable, and this you keep on default. So it uses your VRAM of your graphics card. You can also put this on high if you've got a powerful enough graphics card and you've got more than 6 gigs of VRAM, then you can put this on high so that it can run your game perfectly fine. But if you've got a mid-tier to low-tier gaming PC, put this at default or put it at low. But I highly recommend putting it at default. This one over here, keep it at this. Don't put it on this. You are going to make your game look much darker. This one over here, do not say auto select. Select your graphics card. Once you're done with that, you apply your settings and you'll start getting more FPS out of your game. Trust me, you will. Because when I got into this game the first time, when I launched the game, I was doing about 55 to 60, between there around. Now, if this works for you guys, leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here, and if this actually helped you, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, because I upload videos on a regular basis, and as always, peace out.